Alright, g'day guys, welcome back to another episode. In this episode, why did I even say Try again. Welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we wanted to take you guys through the car and caravan setup. And how much everything cost exactly, because we've done things fairly cheap, I reckon, considering we bought a new car and bought a brand new caravan. So, let's get through it, eh? Cool, so this car is a 2017 model Mitsubishi Triton. 4x4 obviously. I bought this car brand new in 2018 for $32,000, including a snorkel and a tow bar. I didn't buy this car with the intention for our trip or anything like that. I bought this car because I had a Triton before it and it was good to me, so I bought another one, and value for money, they're pretty damn good. Right, so one of the things we've done to the car is we put a bull bar on it. Again, another thing I put on the car, not for the trip, but it comes in handy. Only reason I put this on there was because driving on a rural road back, living in Brisbane, I hit a kangaroo and it literally snapped my intercooler. It was a bad time. So to stop that happening, got a bull bar to keep everything behind it nice and safe and protected, and it's good because I could then put my light bar on. I had it somewhere to mount it, I guess. I got this one off the old Triton as well. So yeah, that's the bull bar on the front end.
It's pretty good at also collecting insects.
Yeah, mind that little guy. So this is our snorkel. If you guys want a snorkel, make sure you go get like a Safari one or ARB or another brand like that, stainless snorkel, custom made or whatever you want to do. Don't go the stock snorkel. So like this one is supplied by Mitsubishi, and it's not actually a waterproof snorkel, so there's gaps and stuff all through the joins and stuff. Water gets in there and it's basically pointless. So it's more of an elevated air intake. I did request to have an ARB snorkel put on this car when I bought it. However, the guys at Mitsubishi Motorama put the wrong information on the contract and I signed it, I didn't check, and I got stuck with this. So yeah, so inside the car, only thing really different is the UHF radio that I installed. You would have seen the aerial on the front of the bull bar there. Again, this one came off my old Triton. I didn't pay anything for this because it came with the car when I bought it. I just pulled it out before I traded it in. Does the job, goes up to channel 80, and the range is a few kilometers on the flats, in a kind of flat area, so it's pretty good. Another modification I've done to the Tritons for towing the caravan is installing a heavy duty clutch. So the car isn't automatic, it is a manual. I know automatics are ideal for towing, however I bought this car long before we had an intention of living in a caravan and traveling full time. So the tyres we have on this are just the Bridgestone Jeweler all-terrains. These are the ones that actually come from factory, so they came brand new on the car. I've still got them on it at the moment. I did have bigger tyres on there for some time, but since having to tow a lot, it makes sense to put the smaller ones back on there for the sake of the fuel economy. But yeah, they've been a good tyre. I can't knock them for anything really. They do a good job off-road, they do a good job on the road. They're lasting it quite some time too, which I'm pretty happy with. So I guess the biggest change we've done to the car is the tray conversion. I did this to the car the second day after I bought it. So I'll give you guys a better look at it. I'll open it up. Alright, so this is a custom built aluminium tray. I think it's 6mm aluminium most of the way through, so it's fairly strong, but it's still pretty light. It was just a second-hand one I got off Gumtree, and I did all the fitting and stuff myself to keep costs down. Bits and pieces that I added to it, like the mud guards and the toolboxes on either side. Alright, so on top of the tray we've got this canopy. You've probably seen from a few of our last videos as well. So the canopy is another thing that I designed and built mostly myself, I suppose to the best of my ability. So the frame itself behind it is just something I bought the steel for, cut it and I welded it into the shape that it is now. And then the sheets of steel, so I got the front, the back and the top sheeted with 3mm alley. I got a shop to cut and fix those for me, and I just painted it once it was all on there and fixed and bolted. And then the sides are just vinyl sides. I had an upholsterer make this for me. I'm no good at upholstery, I didn't even want to try. But it's just sail tracky stuck on there, a couple of zips and elastic rubbers. So I'll show you guys kind of how it works. Zip, rubbers just clip on the clips down the bottom. Cool. Another reason that I went vinyl on the sides was again to try and keep weight down, and it has the whole tray set up, doesn't weigh much more than what the tub did, which I'm pretty happy with. The canopy itself is fairly waterproof. So when I first had it done, the joins in all the sheets was where water was getting in. But to fix that, I just did some nice neat silicone work at the front, at all the joins, which fixed that problem for me. So we don't get any water really inside the canopy at all. So I'm stoked with that. So another big one was getting the tinny on the roof. Could not go without a boat. I suppose we loved our big boat we had. Yes, Leo. We loved our big boat.
Yeah, yep. I love tinny. You love
the tinny? Sweet. Yeah. But yeah, we wanted to have a boat while we were traveling, so rooftop tinny was our only option. So to actually mount this tinny on the roof, I had to build some ladder racks. This is them right here. I think this is just some steel I had sitting around in the garage from some previous shit I was doing. But yeah, it came in useful, did the job. I just bolted them directly to the canopy. Obviously I measured it all out first so that it would fit, and it was high enough so that the tinny would clear the roof, which it just does. So I was pretty happy with how all that came together. And I've just got a couple of 1200 kilo straps with some of the protective condoms, I guess.
We broke a few straps.
Yeah, so we busted like 6 sets of straps just because of the serrated edge on the tinny there, just cutting through them. But with this in place, it seems to be doing the job pretty good. Don't look at the wheels on the tinny. These things need to be changed about 6 years ago. We just haven't got around to doing it yet.
It's one of those things, eh?
Yeah, well, we will get there. When I get new wheels, you guys will be the first to know. I won't shut up about them. So when I was trying to set up the tinny, rooftop tinny setup, obviously the tinny needs a motor. And I couldn't find a lot of info online on where people were actually putting their tinny motors, and like obviously keeping them strapped down so they're safe for travel and the rest of it. But I guess I just kind of worked it out as I went. So the tinny motor I got is just this little 9.9 horsepower Mercury. It's a 2-stroke, so you can lay it down in all sorts of directions. You don't have to worry about breaking it, and it's super light. And it came on this little outboard trolley. I just modified the trolley, so I shortened it by 100 mil, so it would fit in between the fridge slide and the front wall here of the canopy, which I did. It fits perfect. And to hold it down, I'll grab the camera and show you. So to hold it down, I just screwed in an anchor point with some Tech screws and just threw a little grunt strap over the top of it. I pull that nice and tight and it keeps it steady. Fuel tank for it just fits nice and snug just in front of it. We've got the anchor and lights in our little bucket, and the seats for it here. Yes, Leo, that's a bucket. These seats, I think I might just fix them to the tinny so it's just less stuff in the back of the ute, and realistically they never need to come off the tinny, so might just leave them there permanently. Another one we got is the awning. So we bought this awning like 5 or 6 years ago for a North Queensland trip we did in the old car. It's lasted the test of time. We have broken a pole in it, but nice and easy, just replace them. You just grab them from Tent World and it all just fits up the same. So, but that's about it. This is the awning we've got. It's a Kalahari one, and I rate it. It's pretty good. One of my favourite mods was trying to actually get this fuel filler mounted when I was doing the tray. I did a temporary one until I was going to build a bracket or something, so I just did a Tech screw and a zip tie to hold it. And it turned out it wasn't not so temporary. It's been like this for like 2 years and it's going strong. Sweet, so we do have a water tank in this car. It's a 60 litre Kamek water tank. I'll show you guys, it's still underneath. All right, so there's our water tank there. I plumbed it up using just garden hose and a few fittings and stuff you can just get from Bunnings. And to actually mount it there, as you can see, I've used 2 ratchet straps. It may seem dodgy, but that's how I had my water tank mounted in the old car and this car. So it's had, I guess, I've had a mantle like this for 6 years and never had a problem. So you don't think you spend big bucks on custom fabricated stuff to mount shit. Ratchet straps do a pretty good job. But anyway, with the plumbing, I've just got a filler hose running obviously to the filler section of it, and then I've got a feed running into the toolbox with a few wires as well that runs the water pump that's in there. I'll show you guys that. So this is our filler pipe here. Normal hose fitting just plugs in there and fills the tank up with water. And inside the box, squeeze me Leo, I'll grab it mate, you're on. Inside the box, I've just got a little coil hose, it's about 15 meters long, with just whatever that end is, a gun end. And the small pump I have running it. That's a good demo. Go Leo, show us it. There you go, running water. It's a 3.8 litre per minute pump, and it still pressurizes at 40 psi. So the reason I went with a smaller pump was because it's only 60 litres of water. So at 3.8 litres, we get like, what, roughly 15 minutes worth of running water out of it, which is quite good. But it also pressurizes to 40 psi, so it's ample pressure to actually be usable. Running water in your car comes in pretty handy for a lot of things, like showering. We've had loads and loads of showers with this thing, if it's not too cold outside, because obviously it's not hot water. So it's really good for that. It's good for just washing stuff down before you chuck it back in the ute. So when you're on the beach and stuff, if you get sand all over your skis, or for us, we get sand all over the boat motor and stuff, we rinse that off before it goes in the back, and it keeps the back nice and clean.
It's also so handy because with 2 kids, they do make a lot of mess. So always cleaning their feet and hands before you get back into the car.
Another thing it comes in super duper handy for is topping up your water tanks in your caravan when you're free camping. So when you're free camping, most places won't have a water tap for you. So having this, you can drive to the closest tap and fill up your tank in the ute, drive back, and then pump it across into the van tanks, which is super handy. Look. Water? We're all out of water. We're out of water.
He loves getting in on the action, eh? Anything that's new that he sees for the first time.
He's into it, eh? Like he has to suss everything out.
Don't knife you. Nice, Norbert.
That closes up.
Alright,
There
nice.
you go, Norbert. It's gone. The hose is gone, Norbert.
YouTube star, Norbert.
I reckon. Cool, so to make a storage a bit nicer in the car, I've got 2 sets of drawers, one on either side. So they're both the Titon drawers you get from the 4-wheel drive Supercenter. They're not bad, they're pretty good. This one here has a different top on it because I had to replace the top. It was just sitting out in the open in the old car, so the sun and water got to it and just turned it into a soppy piece of bread, which we got rid of. I just got a new bit of marine ply, carpeted and fixed it to the top, which was fairly easy to do. And they just make storage and stuff loads better. Yeah, you can tell the water's got to that one. She doesn't slide too easy anymore.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
But yeah, this one's got boating gear in it, recovering gear. I've got a little solar panel to charge the battery for the little boat. Just straps and other bits and bobs, whatever you want to put in there.
Can't forget your Bushman.
Yeah, get your Bushmans, everyone. And this side, the much nicer looking drawer that actually slides nicely still. Got a gas cooker and some spare gas. Got a lot of my dive gear in here, so like my weight belt, my gloves, my snorkel and mask and that are in there. We've got good old faithful bocce, that's fun to play, and just a bunch of sprays and stuff like lubricants, degreasers, a couple of zinc gal sprays and that for any mods and stuff that we're doing. I left a real small gap between the drawers and the back so I can chuck some small stuff in there. So I got both my spear guns, so just my sling spear and my actual spear gun stored up in the side there so I can get to them nice and quick.
Yeah,
some people might carry a chainsaw in the back of their ute as a piece of kit. I carry a $9 Bunnings handsaw. Mostly because I haven't really needed to use a chainsaw just yet. I'm sure once it comes to a point where we need to get one, I'll grab one, but for now this has done the job. Another addition that I don't reckon you can go without is having the fridge in the car. So we've had this fridge again for like 5 years. It's just the angle eclipse. It's a great fridge, man. It does the job, doesn't use much power, keeps all your stuff nice and cold. I've got it on a slide, so she just unclips to the side. It comes out like that, so you can access it a bit easier, get the lid to sit open properly and whatnot.
and we just cleaned it.
Yeah, I know, we did just clean it.
So it's empty.
Yeah. Cool, that's the fridge, and running the fridge, we've got a 120 amp hour AGM deep cycle battery, and charging that, we have just a projector DC charger that I installed on this little headboard that I also built, which is just, again, marine ply carpeted, cut it to size, and I fixed it to the front wall of the canopy. I also built this little electric box too. That was a few years ago again. Just out of bits and pieces you buy from J-Car. So it's got like your two 12 volt sockets either side up top. I got the double USB port down there. Cool. And then just the voltmeter so I can keep an eye on the battery. And this little switch is the newie, so that one is for the water pump. So I decided to put that on a switch, obviously because being able to turn the pump on and off is a good idea. And I also decided to just run an Anderson plug to the battery. So this comes in handy for a number of reasons. If you have like fold out solar panels, you can plug in and solar charge this battery. We don't have any solar on the car, which I think is a good point actually, I should mention that. So this 120 amp hour battery has kept this fridge running 24/7 for, yeah, like 5 years with no solar at all. I've never ever plugged this battery into a power point since installing it, and it's been totally fine. It's just got all its charge from driving around. So I guess if you do enough driving around, you don't need solar, so long as you've got a decent setup to run your fridge and you've got a good fridge not drawing too much power. So having lights in the back of your canopy is like pretty good addition. We did have a light set up in the back of this, but they were, I suppose, quite shitty lights and malfunctioned and ended up like burning our fridge because they came that hot, they became unstuck, fell down onto the fridge, and they got that hot, they burnt it. And obviously
they were just the magnetic ones that would just sit on the steel frame.
So they're gone and done dusted, so I'm gonna actually get some decent lighting and set it up in the canopy at some point.
So if you can recommend any,
oh yeah, if you guys can recommend some good lights, where to get them from. There's one more thing that we do want to add in here. So I do want to add a smaller inverter so that we can charge our laptop and our drone batteries while we're out and about, not with the van. We did buy one thinking it was going to be portable, like interchangeable from the van to the ute, but it's a big 2000 watt one, so it's massive. So to plug the van in while we're towing it, I've just got an Anderson plug running directly to the starter battery. So that's to run the fridge while we're driving around, and to get all the lights and stuff working in the van, I have a 12-pin plug. The way I've got it set up now, all the high output pins are basically pointless. We're just going off the bottom pins for brake lights, indicators, running lights, so on and so forth. Another pretty important mod that I'd recommend is doing your suspension.
Hey Norbert.
Norbert's having a bit of a dig in the back of our canopy. And he's the most curious bird, eh?
He's so curious. Hello.
Anywho, yeah, suspension. So we haven't done the suspension on this car yet, and obviously with it being loaded up with gear and towing a caravan stuff, I've noticed the suspension is starting to sag a little bit in the back end, so that's something we will look at doing. I'm not sure whether we're going to go do a full suspension upgrade, or whether we're just going to go airbags in the back, or just, I suppose, get some load rated leafs in the rear. That's up in the air at the moment, so I guess another one. If you guys can recommend something, or you've done something in your car that you're happy with, just let us know. So bits and bobs we like to carry with us for our trips and beach trips and four-wheel driving, and just stuff that comes in handy. You carry a couple of little brushes, so when you're on the beach, just jump in and give your feet a bit of a brush off first. Makes a hell of a difference. And also, we don't have a vacuum cleaner with us, so they do a really good job of sweeping out the car and keeping the car clean.
We do have a little one.
Oh yeah, we have that little portable one.
Yeah,
that goes right.
We usually just use that in the caravan. We kind of forget about it.
Sunscreen. It's sunscreen, man. You gotta have it.
Yeah, it's just a necessary thing to have in the car.
And more mosquito repellent. Obviously you guys are in the bush, hot, moist, muggy places, and there is mozzies everywhere, so mozzies are a pain in the ass. This stuff keeps them off you. We've also got a little portable solar panel which you open up, and it charges all your USB devices. This is good to have, I guess, day trips to the beach if you want to keep your phone charged or whatever. But I also think it'd be super handy if the car's proper dead or out somewhere and there's no way we can charge a device or something. It's a call for help. You can charge your stuff up with that if it's a sunny day. In the glove box, what we carry is our tire deflator. This is the quickie one you get from Four-Wheel Drive Supercenter. They're pretty good. We got another tire gauge as well, which is the first one I bought. It comes in handy because there's two of us, we can both let tires down. A little roll of electrical tape, and these little paintbrushes. I like to use these just to dust the dust off my nose. Just keeps me looking good for the camera. And no, I don't even know why they're in there.
I just cleaned this out too, and there's still just a couple of random things in there.
Yeah.
I know, it's pretty much simple stuff though. We haven't really added many things inside the car that we take for our trip. It's just everyday things we had in the car beforehand.
So this is a child seat. You use this for carrying small children and infants on car rides. Yeah, we'll move that out of the way and actually show you what's in the back seat. A whole bunch of Pokemon cards because we just picked up the kids today, so.
Don't you love that?
Oh man.
There's like 50 there. I don't even know.
He's nuts.
He's never even watched Pokemon before.
But behind the seat.
Where's Norbert again?
Norbert, get out of our shots, man. Welcome back, guys. We've got a
just-
fresh battery in the GoPro. We're ready to go from where we left off. Now, in the back of the car, we have a toolkit, which I highly recommend you do. Carry some tools with you. So this is just the King's toolkit, again, from the 4-wheel drive super center. It was like 80 bucks, and it comes with a socket set. It comes with a spanner set. It's got pliers, snips. It's got all sorts of bits and bobs and goodies in there. A couple of extra goodies I decided to bring with me in the bag as well. So important to bring tools with you. We've just got our awning sidewall that shelters us from the deadly winds and other bits and pieces, I guess. And jump starters, which again, pretty handy to have if you've got a dead battery and you want to start your car. Sweet as. So that's all the mods and I suppose stuff that we carry in the car. I guess I'll give you a bit of a review of the Triton. Value for money, like it's pretty damn good. Like it's taken me everywhere that anyone else has been able to get to. It tows the caravan quite well. I'm not gonna wave my dick around and tell you that I can't even feel it on the back, mate, but you can feel it. It's like 2.5 ton, you know it's there. It's quite slow, but it goes where it's supposed to go. I haven't done any modifications to the car, like I said, so no tuning or nothing like that. I intend to keep it that way. I've had a bad experience with the tune in the past, and it's led me to believe that the car was done and tuned the way it is from factory for a reason. It's nice and safe. You can put your foot flat to the floor, up a hill, towing the load, and know that you're not going to hurt or break anything. So that's why we've left it as is. This is one mod for towing we've got is the Red Arc Tow Pro Elite. So legally you have to have an electric brake controller towing something super duper heavy. So I went with the Red Arc Tow Pro Elite just because it's like gyroscopic, so it senses how hard you're braking and it'll apply the respective pressure to the brakes in the caravan. I didn't fit that one myself. I didn't have time, so I had actually got my mobile mechanic to fit that one up for me. I also thought it's worth to mention just how much fuel it goes through. So with the tinny off the roof, I get between 8 and 9 litres per 100. With the tinny on the roof, I get between 9 and 10.5, depending how I'm driving and where I'm driving. And then obviously with the whole thing loaded up with the caravan on and all of our gear, on the highway, I sit probably at about 14.5 litres per 100. Like it's not bad, like it's pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with that.
When we're towing the caravan, we're fully loaded. We're going through about 500.
We get about 400.
400.
Yeah, about 400 k's a tank, everything done and loaded up. And it's just a 68 litre fuel tank in these things, so I can't complain too much. All right, so in total, the whole setup's cost us about $42,500. That's an approximation. I'll put a detailed. What are you laughing at?
Approximation.
Yeah, it's an approximation.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll leave a detailed little. I'll write a list in the description detailing like individual items and how much everything costs. If you guys had any questions about how I did anything, just feel free to message me on Instagram or leave a comment below, whatever you want to do. I'm happy to answer any question you guys have. So this video is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. I know I said we're going to do the car and the caravan in one video, but we'll do the caravan as a separate one because it's already taken me 25 minutes to run you through the car. So I'll see you guys on the next video. If you guys like the episode, give it a thumbs up. Like I said, any questions or you want to say anything, drop a comment below. And yeah, if you like our videos, please hit the subscribe button too. Helps us out a lot. Cheers guys, I'll see you in the next video.